Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome our first esteemed speaker for the night. We are honored to have Professor Chitravid Dikara from QServe Colombo, Sri Lanka.
Thank you very much. I've got a lectern where I can be seen. Normally, almost all the lecterns that I speak up sometimes, they don't see me because I'm very short. Anyway, good evening, fellow architects from India and Sri Lanka. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this majestic Taj Samudra hotel overlooking the Indian Ocean for the Indio-Sri Lanka Design Summit. I'm deeply honored to have been invited by Green Lamb as a keynote speaker for the summit, where creativity, innovation, and sustainable design converge. This gathering marks the beginning of a true fusion of perspectives between our nations, a journey where sustainability becomes more than a trend, it becomes a guiding principle. Before I start a little bit, I must say my introduction to India was when I was invited to be a cost manager and a project manager for your famous NH8. I'm sure all you Indian architects would have gone through the NH8, which was for me to look after 274 kilometers at going from Delhi to Rajasthan, and I was given this task of managing that project, which was 3,000 crores, and I'm not sure, I didn't know what a crore was at that time, and 60 temples to be relocated, and almost 9 contractors on a EPC. So that was my introduction to India. 4 lanes to 6 lanes to service lanes, and it was a very big experience for me, and I hope NH8 is now still working well and you're still going through, because it was a logistics problem at that time, because I think whole the supply chain was coming from Delhi to Rajasthan and from Rajasthan to, and I had I don't know what that is, but anyway, Government of India wanted me to manage this project where they told me that only 2% wastage can be tolerated. So I had to make sure that when the boulders were quarried from Haryana quarries, that we had to measure them, make sure there was no pilferage, and then from the precast yard it was measured. So it was one big learning curve for us. Anyway, that's a little bit about my experience with the Indian construction industry. Anyway, just going back to this, sustainability as a perspective in contemporary design. In recent years, we have faced unprecedented challenges where the COVID-19 pandemic and economic recession have tested our resilience. Yet, through it all, our industry has demonstrated remarkable resolve. The summit, thanks to Green Lamb's initiative, is a testament to our collective determination to rebuild, reimagine, and revitalize our commitments through sustainable design. Let me share a few words about myself. With over 4 decades of experience as an architect, more a design manager, conservator, cost engineer, project manager, and a Green Building Council director, I have been fortunate to witness firsthand the profound impact of sustainability practices in our built environment. When approached by Green Lamb, including Ms. Kumudu from VIDAC, to speak at the prestigious event, I accepted it. Today, I will delve into the topic of sustainability as a diverse perspective in contemporary design. Over the last 40 years, I've had the privilege of lecturing and collaborating with many of the young, talented architects. I call them all young because I taught most of them, so they're all young to me. And present here today as a design manager and as a project manager, I have witnessed firsthand the evolution of our profession and the growing importance of sustainable design in Sri Lanka. Sustainability isn't a single path, but a spectrum of perspectives woven into the fabric of contemporary design. In today's world, sustainability extends beyond environmental concerns. It is a multifaceted concept that integrates economic, social, and cultural dimensions. As architects and designers, we each contribute a unique perspective shaped by our backgrounds, experiences, and the environment we inhabit. This diversity of thought enriches our collective creativity and empowers us to address global challenges and innovative solutions. When we discuss sustainable design, we must consider its environmental impact, advocating for the responsible use of resources, the integration of renewable energy, and the reduction of carbon footprint. However, sustainability also encompasses social equity, ensuring our designs are inclusive, accessible to all regardless of socioeconomic status or physical ability. Moreover, sustainable design is about preserving cultural heritage and identity. It involves respecting local traditions, materials, and craftsmanships, and fostering a sense of place and belonging within our communities. By embracing these principles, we create not only aesthetically pleasing spaces, but also environments that promote well-being and harmony. In the words of Geoffrey Bawa, a visionary architect whom all of you know, who transformed the Sri Lankan landscape, echoes a fundamental truth about sustainable design. It says, I quote, architecture should be rooted in the place, and it should speak of the place, unquote. His legacy reminds us that the sustainability is not just a trend, but a timeless approach to creating a built environment that is harmonious with the nature, culture, and human needs. I vividly recall my first opportunity to work with Geoffrey Bawa as a project manager, cost consultant on a hotel called Sinbad Hotel. Now it's called Anantara Kalathara. I was astonished by his drawings, which depicted the voyage of Sinbad. And he said, Chitra, do the project on Sinbad voyage. And I was amazed. But it gave me about thinking about him, thinking about his voyage, what kind of work we have to do, and how the project itself embodied sustainable and contemporary design principles. I still have those Sinbad voyage drawings of Geoffrey Bawa for this hotel, which I treasure very much. Later, I had the privilege of being again a cost consultant and a project manager for Kandalama Hotel refurbishment with architect Channa Daswatta, where I experienced Bawa's sustainable and timeless architecture once again. These projects are testaments to how design can celebrate heritage, tell stories of the place, and reflect the unique identity of a community. Global sustainable design prioritizes minimizing environmental impact through energy-efficient buildings, responsible material use, and waste reduction. Think green roofs, passive solar design, and the use of recycled materials. It also extends to people who inhabit our buildings and cities, trusting on inclusive spaces, accessible design, and projects that foster community and well-being. Finally, Sri Lanka has emerged as a leader in sustainable architecture and eco-friendly construction. The growing number of green buildings in the country sets a high standard for sustainable development. These buildings prioritize energy efficiency, utilize environmentally friendly materials, and employ sustainable building practices. They stand as shining examples of Sri Lanka's commitment to creating a greener future. I would like to share some examples which I have downloaded from the internet for my fellow Indian architects. These examples showcase how Sri Lanka has emerged as a leader in sustainable and contemporary design, creating timeless architecture. Let me show you that now. Can I have the? Can I have? Okay. All right. Starting with the logistics park, Colombo Logistics Park is a leading example of sustainable development in Sri Lanka, being the first fully conditioned warehouse in South Asia to achieve LEED Gold certification. This prestigious recognition highlights its energy efficiency, water conservation, and overall commitment to environmental sustainability. The logistics park sets a benchmark for the Sri Lankan logistics industry, demonstrating the successful integration of sustainable building practices and setting an example for others to follow. Next one. This Clearpoint Residence Rajagiri is a project that is close to my heart because it was designed by a very famous architect called Milroy De Silva. He's sadly not here anymore, and he was an entrepreneurial architect. Clearpoint Residence is a pioneering project in Sri Lanka led by Milroy Pereira Associates and constructed by a very leading contractor called Marga Engineering, the country's first sustainable high-rise apartment complex, and boasts a title of the world's tallest vertical garden. Located in Rajagiri, the 46-story building features foliage on every floor, serving as a natural cooling system and eliminating the need for air conditioning. I remember Milroy telling me that I have 35 mango trees in this apartment complex. So I was very proud because I was in the Urban Development Authority when we approved this particular project as a green project. Clearpoint Residency sets a new standard for sustainable living in Sri Lanka, showcasing innovative solutions for energy efficiency and water conservation. Next one. Again, a very important project, Cinnamon Bay Berual, the first hotel in Sri Lanka to achieve LEED goals. I was involved as an architectural project manager. It's a model of sustainability in the hospitality industry. Its commitment to environmental responsibility is evident in various aspects of its operations. By achieving LEED Gold status and prioritizing sustainable practices, Cinnamon Bay provides guests with a luxurious experience that aligns with their environmental values. The hotel serves as an inspiring example of how the hospitality industry can embrace eco-friendly initiatives without compromising on quality or guest satisfaction. Next one, another one, Cinnamon Bentham Hotel. This is one of Jeffrey's favorite projects at one time. Originally designed by legendary architect Jeffrey Bawa to evoke a sense of grandeur and heritage, this project was later renovated by architect Channadas Gupta. The renovation maintained Bawa's original concept, resulting in a sustainable and timeless contemporary design that preserved the heritage and the cultural value of the building. The refurbishment was carefully executed to respect the building history and character, ensuring that its legacy would be endured for generations to come. Next one. This is St. Anthony's Cathedral, Kandy. This is in remarkable feat of sustainable conservation, architect Susil Vedikara, my husband, who is also an architect, embarked on a project to renovate a heritage building without compromising its cultural value. The renovation involved a meticulous process of preserving the bell tower by carefully dismantling brick by brick, relocating its original position, and constructing an additional wing for the congregation. This innovative approach demonstrates a commitment to sustainability while honoring the building's historical significance. By preserving the original structure and incorporating modern design elements, the project showcases a harmonious blend of the old and the new, ensuring the building's legacy for future generations. Next one. I am not sure whether you can see this. I think our architects know it very well. This is the Mars Intimate Thurilli or Thurillia project. Mars Intimate Thurillia is a carbon neutral factory located in Thurillia in Sri Lanka. Has achieved LEED Platinum status for its commitment to sustainability. The factory operates solely on renewable energy sources such as photovoltaic and hydroelectric power, and incorporates sustainable materials like compressed stabilized earth blocks as a model for the clothing industry. Thoroughly demonstrates the feasibility of combining environmental responsibility with efficient production process. Next one, another factory, the Brandix Eco Center in Sidua. The Brandix Eco Center in Sidua is transformed a 30-year-old apparel factory. Stands as a beacon of sustainability in Sri Lanka's manufacturing sector. Awarded LEED Platinum status and recognized as a national leader in energy conservation. The facility demonstrates the positive impact of eco-conscious practices. The Brandix Eco Center serves as an inspiring example of how the industrial sector can embrace the sustainability, proving that environmental responsibility and economic success can go hand in hand. It challenges a narrative of industry as a polluter and highlights the importance of sustainable building practices in all sectors. Heritage Kandalam, I'm sure all of you know this project. The Kandalam Hotel in Sri Lanka, designed by Jeffrey Bawa, exemplifies how sustainability can be integrated into contemporary design through diverse perspectives. The hotel's architecture seamlessly blends with the landscape, minimizing environmental impact. It uses locally sourced materials, incorporates natural ventilation and lighting, and actively participates in biodiversity conservation. Kandalam respects the cultural heritage of the region, incorporating elements of traditional Sri Lankan architecture, employing local staff. It has also positively impacted the local community, providing employment opportunities, supporting local businesses, and contributing to the overall development of the area. Kandalam demonstrates that sustainability in contemporary design is not a single approach, but a diverse perspective. It integrates environmental, social, and economic considerations, creating a holistic approach to sustainable development. The hotel exemplifies how design can respect nature, preserve culture, and empower local communities. Kandalam serves as a model for contemporary design, demonstrating how architectural innovation can continue to a more sustainable future. Finally, in closing, I urge all of you to embrace sustainability as a diverse and evolving perspective in contemporary design. Let us draw inspiration from the timeless wisdom of visionary architects who have shaped our landscapes and continue to push the boundaries of what is possible. By collaborating, innovating, and prioritizing sustainability, we can create a built environment that only meets the needs of today but also ensures a thriving future for generations to come. I vividly recall my experiences working on projects like Sinbad and Kandalma Hotel refurbishment, where I witnessed first-hand power of sustainable design to celebrate heritage, tell stories of place, and reflect the unique identity of a community. These projects stand as testament to timeless principles of architecture rooted in place and speaking of place. Thank you for your time and attention, and it has been a privilege to share my thoughts with you at this Indo-Sri Lanka Summit. I look forward to continued exchange of ideas and collective effort to build a sustainable, harmonious world through design. And I hope you Indian architects will network with our architects here so that we have a future. Thank you.